Welcome to Seeking Ishvara. We're going to do a seated, gentle flow today. No props required. If you do like props, you're more than welcome to use them. Remember, this is your practice. You know the limits of your body, and please listen to it. So let's begin in a seated position here. Crisscross applesauce. And we'll just settle in, taking a few breaths, reconnecting the mind to the body, pulling it from wherever you are at in your day, from the past to the future. We can't change anything at this point in time, so let's bring our mind back into the present. Let's take 3 breaths together where we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth in a big sigh. Inhale, exhale. And then twice more. And every time you feel your mind start to wander during this practice, just acknowledge it and see if you can bring your mind back into your physical body. And just notice what it is that you were thinking about, but try not to let it sweep you away into the thought process. So from here, we'll do some hip circles. So either direction will go. Both directions, doesn't matter. Maybe you incorporate like a cat-cow movement, so rounding your spine as you go back, and then arching your spine as you come forward. Making these circles as small or as big as what you need them. And then let's reverse directions. And then slowly making these circles smaller and smaller until you come to a straight spine. Swapping the cross of your legs if you need to. We'll do some seated cat-cows. So from here, we'll arch our spine, coming forward. Maybe chin looks up, eyes look up, and then we'll round our spine to go back into cat. Just making some undulating motions with your spine. Waking it up. Making sure to incorporate your pelvis into this motion. If you need to set a blanket underneath you, please do so. Last one, and then we'll come back up to a neutral spine. We'll raise our arms up above our head, and we'll arch over to one side, doesn't matter which, keeping our sit bones, our pelvis grounded into the floor. Maybe the arm and the chest tilt up and open. Maybe the head looks up. And then we're going to move to the other side, just to find that shape. And we're going to move back and forth between the two, incorporating movement. And we'll do a couple on each side. Opening the chest a little bit further as we go. And last one. And then we're going to stop and stay. Send the breath into your shoulder. And we're going to cactus that top arm, still slightly bending over to the side. Cactus at 90 degrees. Then open back up and reach across your body. Hold it there. Seeing what areas of your rib cage you can breathe into. And then coming back up, moving to the other side to arc over. And then cactusing that top arm. And then bringing that top arm across your face to reach over to the side. And then coming back up to a neutral spine. We'll raise our arms up overhead, and then we're going to move into a twist. So if you need to switch the cross of your legs again, we've been here for a minute, please do so. We're going to twist to the left, so right hand plants on the left knee to bind, and then maybe the left hand comes back behind the body. And then we'll inhale to lengthen our spine, and then exhale to twist. Finding that shape for a moment. And then we're going to release, raise the arms back up overhead, and exhale to the other side. Finding the bind, inhaling to lengthen, and then exhaling to twist. Maybe the gaze goes over the right shoulder. Twisting more so from the upper spine here instead of the lower lumbar spine. We're not trying to force anything, just seeing how much our body can give. And then we're going to go back and forth between these two at your own pace, just like what we did with the side body bends. Moving as slow or as fast as what feels comfortable for you. Syncing movement with breath to deepen your practice. One more on each side. Last one. And then release back to center. So we're going to scoot back a little bit on our mat blanket space. And we're going to open our legs into a V here. So you decide what that looks like for you. Maybe you'll have your legs closer together. We're just changing it up a little bit in our legs. So from here, we're going to place our fingers out in front of us. Our toes will be flexed and then pointing up to protect our knees. And then just as much as you can, just think about doing a little cat-cow motion. So you might not go very far forward depending on where you're at and how tight your hamstrings are, that's okay. We're just rocking the nervous system. So we're just rocking back and forth. Maybe not making too much movement in the pelvis. More movement is coming through the spine. Last bit of rocking here. And then from here, we're going to run our right hand along our right leg. And then tilt our body, our chest over towards the left, or raise the left arm up, and then arc over towards the right side of your body. If you can bind a foot, you're welcome to do so. Keep the feet flexed and pointed up. And then we're going to go to the other side here. The left hand runs along the left leg. Right arm comes up. And now that we found that shape, we're going to go back and forth between the two. Or maybe you just like to stop and stay. And the last one on either side. And then we'll come back into a neutral position with the spine. And I'm going to tilt so you can see what I'm doing here. But we're going to bring our left foot into the inner thigh of our right leg. Right foot remains flexed here. I'm going to raise our arms up overhead, and then we're going to fold forward as much as what feels comfortable for you. Again, maybe you don't go far. It's totally fine. We are all different bodies living different experiences, and depending on our experiences, our body tightens in different ways. Think about relaxing your right thigh. Maybe you give yourself a little massage on your right thigh. Give it some love. Remembering to breathe. And then slowly coming up out of that bend, we're going to place our left foot onto the floor. Make sure your sit bones are grounded in. And then we're going to wrap our right arm around our left knee, planting our left hand behind us, and then twisting open towards the left. Drawing the belly in. then releasing that, releasing the left leg back down. And then from here, we're going to do some glute stretches in the psoas. So just see where you're at in your space. Maybe move back to the back edge of your mat, so make sure you have like about a foot between your feet and the top of your space. So we're going to move about a foot. So releasing the psoas is one of the, is where we hold a lot of our tension in our bodies, especially if we sit down a lot, if we do any sitting activity, but we're going to release it a little bit. So we're going to scoot forward. So lifting, not just coming over to the side, but lifting with your leg, lifting here, and then bringing your foot forward, and then scooting forward. Tap the top of the mat. You need to have your hands help you with this to keep your upper body stable, so you're not wobbling around. Do that. Then you're going to come back about a foot. And you're going to go forward again. We're going to do that 3 times, 3 cycles on our own. So I'm on my 3rd cycle. But this can help release some of the tension that you have just by consciously activating and then releasing it. And from here, we're in Dandasana, staff pose, and then we'll fold forward. If you have blocks, you can put them on top of your thighs. So maybe you can rest your forehead down. Feet remain flexed. Breathing into your back body. And slowly coming up from that Dandasana, or coming back into Dandasana. And then I'm just going to change positions again so you can see. But then from here, we're going to bring our right foot into the inside of our left thigh. And then we're going to fold over. Seeing if you can relax your right thigh. I'm sorry, your left thigh. Left foot is flexed. Maybe again you give your left thigh a little bit of love, a little massage. Relax it a little bit. And then coming back into a neutral spine, we're going to plant that right foot down, just on the inside of the left thigh. We're going to bind with our left arm around our right knee, plant the right hand behind you, and look over for a twist. belly in. Your left foot is still flexed. And then exhale to release. And move back into the center of your space. We're going to move into butterfly. So butterfly, we have our both feet together, our knees pointing out, so we can flap our wings a little bit. Our heels can be as close or as far away, maybe more into a diamond shape, is what feels comfortable to you. But we're just going to flap our wings here for a minute. Again, letting the nervous system know that it's all right, easing into the movement. And then we'll pause with our flapping, and then we'll fold forward. So if you need to adjust the distance between your heels to where your sacrum is, please do so. Trying to tilt that pelvis forward. And then slowly come back up, coming back into a seated position of your choice, whatever that looks like. We'll do some neck stretches before we end class. So from here, we're just going to drop one ear to one shoulder and just start to do some neck rolls in either direction. Moving slowly, like your head is in molasses. And let's change directions. And let's pause with the right ear to the right shoulder. And if you feel like it, walk the left fingertips out so you feel that stretch through the left side of your neck. Maybe the right arm reaches up and over to the top of the left ear to gently pull towards the right, intensifying the stretch. release that right arm back to the floor. Walk the left fingertips back in and move the left ear to the left shoulder. Walking out the right fingertips if that feels right. And just holding here before we intensify. See where you're at. Relax your legs. And then bring up the left hand to the top of the right ear to intensify, or just stay where you are. And slowly release that left hand back to the floor. Bring the hands in. Spine, go ahead, go back to neutral. Sitting back in Sukhasana for our closing meditation. Noticing if you feel calmer physically and mentally, acknowledging that you took the time to take yourself through this practice to slow down, to calm the mind down, to calm the nervous system, to put yourself in a safe space within your own body at this time. And know that you can come back to this space anytime you need. I encourage you to stay in a seated meditation for as long as what you need. But thank you so much for joining me today.